Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. Happy Friday, guys. We are finally into the end of the week. I know we just started February, but it's always nice when it's Friday. Earlier in our Giga Chad call, Jackus was playing Friday with the dopamine edit on it. I'm sure if you guys know exactly the tune that we're thinking of, we were vibing out this morning, but welcome, guys. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max and Tucker. Real quickly, before we start cooking, before we start sharing that Friday alpha, we always appreciate when you guys smash that like button before we get started. And it's Friday, it's the end of the week, so if you're tired, you can gently caress the like button as well. But we're going to need one of them: liking, caress, anything in between that you need to justify hitting the like button mentally.
Tommy, I have a quick question
it
for
always
you.
means a lot to us when you guys enjoy our content. What'd you say, Max?
I have a quick question for you. I don't mean to interrupt you because you're doing a great job, but I wanted to just bring this to your attention. You oftentimes say, I'm Snorlax, but you also know me as Tommy. Does that mean that Snorlax is your main identity and Tommy is like a secondary name? Do you identify more as Snorlax than you do Tommy?
Well, it is big 2024, so I could get away with it.
Yeah,
but
you can legally identify as Snorlax. So
yeah, I could always switch it around one day. You guys know, or I'm Tommy. You guys know me as Snorlax. One of the two. I might throw you guys a curveball next week. Then how about that?
But see, the thing is, if you identify as Snorlax, I want to be polite about it. Like if your pronoun is snore and lax, I'm happy to oblige. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to know, as a friend, as a work colleague, I need to know these things.
The pronouns are snore, lax, and then occasionally ing, snore, lax, ing. But yeah, guys, welcome to the show. Happy Friday. As far as market commentary, right? I guess we had NFP today. It doesn't really seem like markets are responding too much. I guess we had a bit of a dump in Bitcoin that has already been eaten up. So we're basically already trading at parity there. Nothing too much to note yet. But I think we're all kind of looking for how this Bitcoin range is going to resolve. And I'm looking at the 4-hour chart as Tucker has it up right now. And man, oh man, what a that is what you call a meat grinder, right? That price action since the 28th or 29th of January has just been very wicky. And I mean, look, there are a lot. Yeah, very wicky is exactly how I would describe it, actually. So I'm still curious to see how we're going to resolve out of this range. Is it going to be a breakout into 45K, 46K, and we see altcoins run really hard? Or is it going to be one of those things where clean bearish retest that just gave you a lot of opportunities to get shaken out of the trade before trading lower? And I mean, I think that, as I always say, I think that both are equally plausible arguments here at this point. We're still kind of waiting for a bit of direction, but maybe some Coinbase bidder who I think market bid like 500 Bitcoin in one go might have shown us the way today. We did have a big wick on Coinbase, and particularly this morning that wicked to about 43.7. So at the time, I think it was about $1,000 above market. It's kind of rare that you see that. Eventually those wicks have a tendency to get filled. It's just a question on timing, right? So yeah, I mean, I think, Bitcoin is still just kind of sitting here. And altcoins to a large extent are just kind of waiting on Bitcoin to make up its mind to dump or to pump. Is it going to be a bullish February for crypto? Yada, yada, yada. Equities, more of the same. I could say that pretty much every day at this point. People probably shorted into the hole for Powell, and they have been effectively rebalanced, right? So one thing I always say about assets and price discovery is that, once you do get there, you don't have any more like guarantees. So a lot of the reason that these assets tend to double top is because we rebalance a lot of hedges. And once you hit price discovery, you officially run out of hedges to be able to rebalance. So you have to be able to find organic demand above these prices. And when you have days like we had 2 days ago where Powell, he really wasn't even that bearish, right? He just basically said, we're not cutting in March. And the market responded negatively. There was a lot of shorts put on, and voila, 2 days later, the market will use it as an excuse to create more forced buyers and propel price higher. And that's exactly what's happened. We might trade 5,000 here over the next few sessions, which would be pretty cool. And obviously a milestone for the S&P. But welcome, guys. Happy Friday. It's Friday again. That's the line from the song. But it is Friday again. I would love to know what you guys are seeing in the markets, what you're thinking about Bitcoin, and of course, what you're thinking about the S&P.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody in the comments. What's going on, guys? Great to see you. Yeah, guys, thanks so much for being here. It's crazy. It's already Friday, man. It's just incredible how fast the weeks go now. And what's up, Mr. Spread? I see you in here, man. What's up, Mr. Spread? We got to have you back on the show sometime soon. But yeah, guys, I'm super, super bullish. I don't even feel like pretending like there's another option for me right now. Like, I am just so damn bullish. It's oozing from all of my pores. I have some bullish propaganda to share with you guys today. You know, and I'm going to try to stay cool, calm, and collected, but I'm not sure I can, because I know what's coming. I'm convicted in my thesis. I'm convicted with my positioning. I think we are going so much higher. Yep, I think we are going so much higher. I think that the crypto asset class is about to bubble. Like, I think it's going to be a bubble that potentially makes the .com bubble look like the test pump. And I'm
Hey, Max, before you start cooking, could you let me another info?
Good morning, Will.
Don't you? Good morning.
Good morning, Will.
I was just curious, real quick. Don't you have a free newsletter that we usually put out?
Well, we're going to work on your timing, but that is a great point. that is a great point. We do have a free newsletter.
Yes, we do.
We do. I mean, I could link that in the comments, you know. Well, I'm so appreciative of that, but you know, right as I'm in the middle of my cook session, man, you know, we got to work on the timing of that. But here it is, since it was brought up. If you guys want the free newsletter, there it is. We cook in there every single morning, delivered right to your inbox, hot and fresh, right off the press. But actually, I'd love to pull a Tommy and steal the chart quick from you, Tucker, because I mean, honestly, what you're doing here is pretty good, but it's actually not good enough.
I need to see the propaganda, Max. Go ahead.
It's just it's not bullish enough for me, and that's the problem. Okay,
that's fair. That's fair.
It's pretty good, but let me just pull a Tommy here. I'm on my big monitor, so I hope that you guys can see it okay. But I don't see I don't see anything else when I look at these two charts, man. I don't see anything else. You know, Bitcoin has been known to lead the drops as it's more volatile, and it's also been known to lag the pumps. And the way that I see it, it's crystal clear to me. And you know, a lot of people they think, oh well, you know, it seems locally overextended, and on the 4 hour there was a wick that, you know, took out this high, and I just don't think that we can go higher, because you know, the blah blah blah. That's a lazy explanation. Let me try that again. Because the RSI on the 4 hour suggests this, and there was a liquidity grab here locally, and how do you think we're going to go to 55 or 60K? That's craziness. It can't happen that fast. It merged with TradFi. Look at what the NASDAQ did here, guys. We're not talking about, you know, a shitco here. We're not talking about an altcoin either. We're talking about where, you know, we're talking about a multi-deca, $100 billion, multi-trillion dollar index. I don't even know what the total market cap of the NASDAQ is. I could probably know that. Do you guys happen to know? Maybe somebody could look it up.
No.
But either way,
it's
it's substantially larger than that of Bitcoin. It's a lot of zeros. All right. So when I look at this chart, I say to myself, okay, unemployment's still sub 4%. I'm reading Mr. Spread. To those people, we say, how about you liquidity grab these nuts? Oh man, Mr. Spread, that was a funny one. But guys, I look at this and I say, how can people not smell the squeeze coming on? We've had the perfect storm. We now have a new on-ramp into Bitcoin, being all these ETFs. We have the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones above their all-time highs. We are still within the window of a Fed pause. While we haven't had materially worsening economic data, people are just about to freak out and dump into Bitcoin here, guys. They are just about to start chasing risk. You know how we've been talking about this rotation when meme coins really start to run, is when Bitcoin makes an all-time high. Well, Bitcoin starts to run when legacy indexes start to make all-time highs. Risk starts to run once the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 are above all-time highs. Yes, ETH will participate. ETH will participate. The entire asset class is about to bubble. And I just think that it is such an obvious setup for me right here. And I don't think you're going to get your big pullback. I already think that you had your pullback. And I mean, just again, to put this into context, guys, it's like the NASDAQ can do this in what was this, like 2.5, 3 months? And you don't think that Bitcoin can do something comparable? I mean, what are we talking about here, guys? People seem to forget the volatility in crypto and how hard Bitcoin can squeeze when it really starts to go. But I don't know. Nobody wants to position for it. Everybody's so in their own head about it. And it's like, I'll happily position for this. I'll take your position for you. That's not a problem. Give me your position. I will happily absorb your position. That's no problem. I'm happy to. But I am from a local time frame, very, very bullish. I think that things look great. From a high time frame perspective, I mean, look at where we're at right now, guys. We just completed this. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's talk about it. We're going to remove this fractal because you guys have already seen it. This was our vertical accumulation. And within here, we set some inefficiencies, right? Let's go down in the daily time frame. We're looking at Bitcoin here. This move right here was a pretty inefficient move. It was a pretty spastic move up, a lot of inefficiencies. And look, we came back and we backfilled it perfectly. All right. Now let's go and look at the NASDAQ. All right. I wonder if we did something similar. Vertical accumulation, thin move up with some inefficiencies here. Actually, let me go to the daily. It'll look a little bit more comparable. Thin move up after vertical accumulation, and we came back in and we filled in our final gap. There was actually a gap right down here, but there were some big inefficiencies in this move as well. And we came back and we filled in this gap more or less perfectly, okay? And then look what happened. We are just doing this, guys. We're not going to get back into our vertical accumulation just like the NASDAQ didn't, all right? We're going to go up. We're going to go up, guys. I'm super exposed here. Like, I think it looks fantastic. And I think a lot of people are going to start FOMOing into things like Bitcoin now that they can. So anyways, I don't know. I don't really have much more than that, guys. I think I'm just going to end the stream here because it's just done,
right,
man. Like,
go ahead and hit the soundboard there, Max. Let us know when you're done cooking.
All right, I'm done. Will, what did you think about all that, man? I mean, I hope I didn't come off too abrasive, but I just see it so clearly right now, and locally, I suppose anything could happen, but I see it very clearly.
Tucker, do you remember the discussion we had when we were talking about this at much lower valuations? And we were like,
of course, Will, of course.
BTC, SPY, it was just me and Tucker all alone. Everybody left us. We were abandoned. It almost felt like that time that guy left and said he was going for milk and never came back. I don't remember who he was, but it felt like that time, But me and Tucker, we made it through and we struggled, but this was the play. Was really I was thinking more of like, personally SPY, but yeah, I like the NASDAQ chart a little bit better, to be honest with you, because it gives a higher valuation. So from a personal perspective, sure, we can come in and we can say, maybe that's a biased answer, but at the end of the day, the ultimate move is up. It's 2 all-time highs, it's above all-time highs. And as long as people continue to stay sidelined or talk about lower prices, they're going to continue to stay sidelined and talk about lower prices, right? That's all they're going to do because they're not going to get entries. And we discussed this. I can't tell you how many times I come in here and told you like, hey, we're not going below 25K. We're not going below 25K. We're not going below 25K. We're not going below 38. We're not going below 38. We're not going below 38. We probably won't go back below 40. So I mean, people can sit there and tell me how this and that's going to affect it and some kind of war in the middle of some place. and the red light district mixed with China somehow
You
or
say there's
something
a
like that.
war. You say there's a war in the red light district. Oh man.
I know you've been shitcoining on Solana, Will, but I don't think that really happened.
Yeah.
Look, Solana. Let's not even talk about Solana. Hey, but no, there was some interesting stuff. You did see some bigger, we'll say, influencers in the space. They're starting to talk about a shift to ETH. Does anybody notice that? Did you guys see that post last night I put?
No, I didn't see it.
One of those quarter million
It was Ansem,
follower
wasn't it?
accounts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't say names. Don't say names.
I mean,
It
it
was
was.
talk. He was asking about, hey guys, what's a good play on ETH? I'm keeping most of my money in Solana. Wink, wink. What's a good play on ETH? You can't let people know when you're exiting, of course. So you just pretend that everything's staying in Solana, and then you just ask what the good play is on the next move.
Will is the
Um,
dumb whore.
Yeah.
it's
I'm
like-
sorry. I had to Tommy you, Max.
Wow.
That was aggressive. That was an aggressive Tommy.
Dude, I feel like I just got like
No warning.
bugged or something, man. That was wow. Tommy has never done anything quite like that.
Okay,
I
look.
might have to change it to tuckering. I don't
He's
know.
the aggressive
I'm
Tommy.
just gonna put this down here. Total 3, because somebody asked about it. Total 3 looks like identical to what it did back here, and I'm really just using Market Cipher for this, like pretty much exclusively, right? So, and I know you guys, if you don't use it, I get it. It might be a bit over your heads, but I'm
Oh, what
looking at.
your expensive stochastic RSI indicator?
Hey man, I've had Lifetime for years. This thing's paid for.
Bro,
itself.
literally pull up
10 times
stochastic
over.
RSI. Literally
No,
pull
no,
up
no, no, no,
stochastic
no, no.
RSI. All right.
Hey,
No,
Max, guess what?
It
I
doesn't
use
even
it for
come
free
close.
every day.
Yeah,
I use
Wu
it for
Will,
free.
no, Will gets it. Will gets it, but also he uses
Will
the
uses
beta
Wu
version.
Manchu, man.
It's like the beta version is basically what Will has, but I mean,
but
it looks identical, does it not? Like, look, we had this big spike. We came up here, and then you get the green money flow. You come down a little bit, and you start curling. And the price action looks so similar to right here before you did 10x.
And
in 6
contextually,
months.
Tucker, that was a range breakout. Draw the range high on both of the accumulation zones. That's additional structural confluence.
What, like that?
Yeah, exactly. So that was a
You're-
range breakout. We just had a range breakout. Exactly.
You're moving
You
back
draw
into the
that
money
higher.
flow area, and that's what a lot of people aren't realizing. You're moving. You got to understand. Look, people don't like. I know a lot of you like to believe. Well, people want to buy cheaper. No, they don't. They want to buy much, much, much more expensive. They don't like cheap things, right?
Well, look, you
They're,
shouldn't be shorting anything if this money flow on the weekly is
money
green.
flow looks good. I like the
It
money
looks
flow.
fantastic, and
Yeah.
you want to see these or these lines up here. You want to see them hang out up here, right? Like that's what happened back here. You just kind of hang out, and then you get that. Like if you get these coming down, that's an invalidation for sure. But
Yeah, I would
looks
never tell
good.
anybody to leverage trade off of this though, because you could definitely get wrecked.
Yeah, especially I mean this is the weekly, right? So this is just more of a high time frame outlook. But like it did a 10x in like I just ran it. It was like it did 10x in 250 days. Right.
Dude,
so
look. I don't know how much more clear we can be. I actually think there's a lot of people that are. I think we're in the denial phase right now of like the Wall Street cheat sheet, or like this one will fail. This rally will fail like the rest of them. Like I think we're in that phase. I think a lot of people have somehow been brainwashed and convinced that the halving being 70 days out doesn't actually matter, and the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 making all-time highs off the back of like literally record earnings for some of the mega cap tech companies, which we saw this week, somehow isn't like the perfect storm while we're in a Fed pause with not, materially worsening economic data. I think there's been so much, I don't know if it's bear market PTSD or I don't know what it is, man, but it's like, I just think that people are completely overthinking this right now.
No,
You know?
I can tell you what it is.
They're
It's
hyper fixating on the one or two potentially daunting higher time frame risk off signals rather than looking at like the dozen super bullish signals right in front of them.
Max. There's
Mhm.
no high time frame risk off signals in my
Well,
opinion. But
there is, right? For like 2 years out, the yield curve
oh yeah,
is
2 years.
still
Okay, 2
very
years.
inverted,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 2 years out. Yes, sir.
Right. So it's like we're talking about really, really high time frames. So people will sit here in cash earning 3 to 5%, interest
Or
only
nothing.
on government notes and miss, a 5x on their portfolio because they're afraid of something that's going to happen a year and a half or 2 years from now. So
And Max, but this needs to be addressed. They think that because Jackus isn't here, they won't be abused for not liking this.
I love that comment. I won't be a
we'll see, guys. Someone's got to do it when Jackus isn't here. Jackus might pop in just to abuse you, to hit the like button, and then he might pop back out. So
Mhm.
you never know when a wild Jackus will appear. You guys better be careful. I wouldn't relax. I would not feel comfy, unbothered, moisturized, and in my lane right now. Jackus could show up at any time.
I did have one comment though. I know you brought up the word PTSD, and I thought that for a while too. I'm almost at the point where it's ego, right? People can't drop their ego to pretend like they're the best analyst in the world, pretend like they understand every single macro. And like these are individuals that are actually working as individuals, not teams, right? And so they're only going off their own mindset and their own thoughts. And so they're sticking to their guns on what they think is going to happen. It's like the guy that points in the mirror and says, "You're not wrong, they're wrong," and he's pointing at himself in
Yeah.
the mirror. And it's like this is what these people wake up and do every day. They're,
So you
they're
think
waking
it's
up every
ego?
day, looking in the mirror and pointing at themselves and saying, "You're not wrong, they're
Where's
wrong."
that meme, bro? Tommy, I know you have it.
Which one?
The meme of the guy pointing at himself in the mirror.
I can get it. Yeah.
You used it literally yesterday, I'm pretty sure.
Before they get on stage on
Oh, the
spaces,
Giga Chad
they
one.
get in the mirror.
Yes.
That was a good one, man. I love that beam.
Don't back off. You're not wrong. They're wrong. Stick to your guns. It'll come true one day.
There is nothing more expensive than an ego, and we've all been guilty of it, right? We've all been guilty of it. I mean, if you haven't been a participant in this rally and maybe you've taken some losses shorting this thing up, because you were brainwashed by some of the macro boys, and you thought that it would play out quicker. I can understand that feeling of being like, damn, I was really wrong about this, and not wanting to flip, because it would be kind of admitting defeat. And then also there's that back of mind fear of like, all right, well, now if I flip, what if actually like I am right, and it's about to turn in my favor here, and then I flip, there's always that fear. Like we've all experienced that for sure. And I get that, but eventually you have to remove yourself from the equation and pretend like you didn't have any pre-existing biases or positions or wins or losses. Pretend that you're looking at this, with no emotions attached to it. If you were just looking at this chart for the first time, and you hadn't already been in positions, no losses or wins were incurred, what would you be thinking happens next? Because it's easy to say, well, I just took a loss shorting this. I missed the rally up. I didn't just miss the rally up. I actually took a loss on it. Now, how can I possibly flip bullish? Because then what if it goes back down? You know what I mean? That's the part where that's the toughest battle. Truthfully, that's the toughest battle. Not wanting to be the quote unquote exit liquidity twice. And we've all been there on every single time frame. Lower time frames, higher time frames. But I'm telling you, look at this chart. Look at this chart. I don't see there being a very high probability that 75, 80 days out from the Bitcoin halving, this thing nukes back down unless we get some sort of COVID round 2. Okay. It doesn't make sense for that to happen. Contextually, I don't see the case for that to happen. And I think the best way to go about it is take really low risk, no leverage trades where not a whole lot of damage can be done. Okay. And just start dipping your toes back into the water. And not speaking to anybody, in particular here. I'm speaking in general. I think a lot of people are going to miss this, this crazy bullish rally here because of that fear. you know, again, of that fear, that same fear. And I get it. You know, I get it. I was super bearish at so when ETH was breaking down, me and Tommy and Tucker were like, I mean, bro, short doesn't even begin to describe what we were, man. We were like,
Wait, where?
we were the ask, man. On ETH down at that last low, man, when we were breaking below 1600, we
This?
were lower. Well, we were short there too, but I mean to the right, to the right. That last pivot, Tucker, left, right there. Nope.
Here?
Nope. Well, we were short there too, but to the right, right there,
Yeah.
down to the right.
Yeah.
We were so short there. We were planning for like 1200, 1100. We were so short between the three of us.
Max,
Okay?
do you remember
And
me
then,
and you getting into a heated argument there?
Will, me and you heated argument? Come on, bro. That's never happened. We don't.
I was
We're
like,
just
it's going up. I was like, it's not going down from there. Like
So
that's
we were super short there. All right. And Tucker, can you do me one favor? Can you go to the weekly time frame? So we were short from higher. We were riding it down. Zoom in for me now, right on that little area that we were in. Okay.
Here?
Yep. So see that so right before the big blue candle that pushed us up to 1720, see that one right there. Can you draw from the open and the close, draw a horizontal box? I want a breaker block there. Yeah, a horizontal right there. Yep. And now drag it to the right. Okay. So when we lost that order block and we were short from like 1650, 1700, something like that, into those lows, and we lost that weekly order block, I literally was like, it's over. Like we are going so much lower. And then I see this thing basically, it swing fails that low and it refuses to break down. And at that point, I've got an option. I'm like, man, that was not bearish. Like Bears had the opportunity to completely nuke it. And we swung fail that low. We had every opportunity to completely nuke here. And then at 1685, I had a decision to make. And I remember talking with the guys about this. I was like, I don't think we're going down. I was texting Tucker about it. And I was like, dude, I think we're about to go straight up in a straight line. Like that was a huge bear trap. I still have the text. I read through them the other night. And Tucker said to me something basically along the lines of, dude, like we're still like pretty bearish. There's like equal lows below us. Like the short is still there. And I was like, bro, we were supposed to break down already. Like we have to flip. And I shoved long at 1685. And I'm thankful that I did it quickly. And I wouldn't have had the conviction to do it necessarily without my team here having my back and providing me some additional analysis. But that's a prime example of knowing when to let go of a position, even if it hurts your ego a little bit. Because, man, I was so loud, so convicted we were going to break down. And I gave back I was in profit on that trade. And I basically closed it at break even and had to flip long because I recognized I'm on the wrong side of this thing. That was supposed to break down. So where are we at right now, guys? It's like, where are we at right now? You know?
well, there's a couple factors. If I could show the chart real quick.
I forgot Will has admin powers now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So let's do. Hold on one sec. We'll just do that because I have a couple different things here. But yeah, ultimately in that area, like I saw the strength immediately, and I think just a lot of people were just not looking at it. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal that without notice, but yeah, it kind of happened.
You're good, Will. You're good.
So like with Ethereum, for instance, like this is and it wasn't just Ethereum that I used as confluence, and that's why me and Matt, like when I'm convicted, guys. Like I don't care what nobody says. Like when I look at it and I'm like, okay, this is the play. Like you can convince me of different things. Like I'll take what's said to me into consideration. But like there's certain things that I have high conviction on, and they're just certain areas of liquidity, certain levels, certain trends, so on and so forth. And I think that I have a process in my head for like how I like to play things. And it's, as long as the trend holds, you're good. It's just the expectation for most people is this. This is what people are thinking, Max. I'll tell you, like up here, they're thinking this.
Yeah.
So they're still bullish, but they're thinking this.
Just give me one more pullback, bro. I promise I'll bid this one. Just one more pullback.
one more, and I'll bid it. And then when it gets there, they're not bidding, right? This happens every single time. And the thing is like while they're waiting for this to happen, this right here is what happens. And it's going to be the same thing up here. It's going to be this right here is what happens. While everybody waits for the high time frame break, right? Or it could swing here, right? And then come back over here. This is the thing that people aren't considering. And here's the problem with not considering that, right? Is they're not looking at the trend. If the trend was down, their idea of coming back to trend fully would make more sense, right? It would make more sense to come all the way back down to trend every single time. But because the trend is up, you set levels, level, and you hold that level, and you continue to hold that level, and then you swing high. And your only two options, unless the trend is going to break, is to either do this or it's to do this and then do this and then do that. Right?
I think we're going to do the second one, actually, Will. I think the second one makes more sense. I think realistically speaking, we should probably see some sort of move like that start in February, honestly, for ETH.
Yeah, and with this right here, like if you look at these two frames, this is where I knew that the trend was going to hold. Now, everybody here was telling me cheat on the door, cheat on the door, cheat on the door. Look, 1, 2, follow the trend until it breaks. Just follow it until it breaks. You either get validated or invalidated, right? But it's always better when your trend is up to stick to the trend. That's your last line in the sand. Ideally, if you break this area trend, you're probably going to start retesting lows and then probably going to start trending the other direction. You wouldn't have wanted to see this break. And market makers knew that when they stepped in. Not only did you have the trend in your favor.
Hey, Will, I want to just address one thing really quickly, and then I promise I'm going to give it back to you and let you cook. All right, I'm going to do a polite Tommy because this needs to be addressed here. All right, from Crypto Shark. Daily listener here. I just listened to an X Space and they were talking about inflation and how it's going to come back with a vengeance because of the payroll and jobs data. What are your thoughts on that? Let me address that right now. They can say whatever they want, but I'm going to show you on the chart a visual as to why, as of right now, that's unlikely. Okay, everyone, all these macro guys, they like to speculate. They live for the doom. Okay, the macro guys live for the doom because that's the only time macro matters. That's it, is when it's doom. Okay, so copper and oil historically have led CPI. Okay, so copper's down below, CPI is right here in the middle, US oil is right here. All right, let's mark out key pivots on the chart. Let's see when oil bottomed right here, which was leading CPI. Okay, and copper bottomed even before oil. All right, so look at these two. Actually, let me flip these. Let me move them up a little bit. Okay, so here's copper and oil bottoming before US CPI. US CPI bottomed over here. All right, let's check out when we topped. All right, oil topped right here. Copper actually topped at the exact same point. Where did CPI top? Right here. So oil and copper both topped before CPI. All right. So I'm looking at this right now and I'm saying, what are you guys talking about? We will have commodities tip us off as they normally do. It's that simple. It's that simple. So what are we seeing on the lower time frames? Oil's going down. Copper is looking like it's going down. I don't really see why it's going to happen. But anyways, I just wanted to address that comment because, again, they love to just expand. They like to take one data point and just beat the crap out of it, beat it to a pulp, and extrapolate that on a broader market scale. So,
I mean,
I would actually argue that inflation would be more bullish on a higher time frame.
Yes.
Because you couldn't cut rates. It would be bearish initially and you'd get a sell-off, but it would probably extend the ultimate, like, you know, the we'll call it the bull run, because you can't cut rates. If inflation's rising, you probably have to keep raising.
Here's the other thing to the inflation discussion too. When did the bear market hit through inflation? It hit when inflation was at its high, not while it was running up. inflation will run well ahead of a bear market. You'll be able to see it. Like if we're like, hey guys, we're at 8% inflation, it's like, oh, okay, I'm out, because you know what's coming after that, right? You know you're going to get hit harder. You're going to start to see interest rates rise. You're going to see the Fed step in and be like, hey guys, sorry, I'm going to Paul Volcker everybody. We're at 8% again, so we never came down. And that everybody keeps talking about, and I want to use that word too again, Paul Volcker, right? They're like, oh, he's gonna Paul Volcker. No, guys, every single time something happens, okay, they put something in place to protect it from happening again. The 2008 housing crisis. Have we had another housing crisis? No, because they put stuff in place to keep the banks from being able to take advantage of the people, which is what they did. 2000.com bubble. Do we have any 2000.com bubbles? No, because people found out that they were dumb, and there's no such thing as the year 2000 crashing everything in the world.
Y2K.
Y2K.
Yeah, come on, Will. Y2K, brother. What are we talking about?
I remember
Will,
when
your
people were
chart's
talking
back
about
up, by the way, man. I just wanted to touch on that point real quick because I'm not seeing anything on the charts that's indicating to me that CPI is suddenly about to spike back up exclusively because of, I don't know, payroll, whatever these guys were saying.
CPI, has anybody looked at the DXY? It's absolutely getting demoed.
Yeah, because of the payroll and jobs data. What unemployment is at 3.7%, and somehow that's going to cause a massive spike in inflation. It's been at 3.7% for like, it's been sub 4% for like 2.5, 3 years now, or whatever. Like nothing's changed. You know, I don't really see how. I don't know what these guys are talking about, man.
Well,
I'm not talking about you with the comment, Crypto Shark. I mean, just whatever the space was.
Yeah,
I don't know
even
what
the VIX,
talking about, man.
even the VIX doesn't validate what they're saying. The VIX is absolutely getting demoed too. Like a lot of these, where it's at, it doesn't matter how much it's spiked. It's like where it's at right now, it's getting absolutely demolished. It's nowhere even
guys,
close to where it was.
I don't know, Will. If the VIX was a shit coin, would you buy it?
I'll buy anything that's got shit on it.
I think you might.
It does look like the type of chart Will's outlook.
It really does.
Will's not the person to ask about that, man. He would buy it, man. Will would buy it. But guys, before we continue, before Will keeps cooking on the charts, guys, I need you to do me a solid. All right. Today's Friday. I know everybody's tired, but we're cooking today, guys. We're cooking. We got great energy here on the panel. All right. We got big shoes to fill. Jackus isn't with us today, but we're still cooking. I know the chef isn't here, but you got 4 other chefs here. So, guys, if you can do us a solid, real quick, take one moment of your time. That's all we ask. And hit that thumbs up button for us, guys. It does wonders for our growth. It does wonders for the channel. I know I always say it, but because it's actually true. Go look at the videos where we ask you versus when we don't ask you. We were trying a thing where we didn't ask you guys, but we're here. It's free to watch the show. We do it on YouTube. We're going to be here every day, Monday through Friday, doing the show for you guys. We love hanging out with you guys and doing the show. It's a highlight of our day. And all we ask is that in exchange for the free content, Monday through Friday, you take one moment, and you just navigate your thumb or your pointer finger on a mouse or on your phone, and you just hit that thumbs up button for us. That's it. I'm not asking you for super chats. I'm not asking you for anything. I will ask you to sign up for the Discord at the very end because it's epic and you're going to want to use it. But right now, during the show, we go the entire show. We just ask you to take one quick moment and hit that thumbs up button for us. I'm not doing anything else. That's it. That's all we need. I think that's a very, very fair ask, a very fair exchange of goods and services. We dump alpha on you, and you take one quick moment to hit that thumbs up button for us. That seems very fair to me. So, guys, if you're enjoying the content, please hit that thumbs up button for us. Again, we're so appreciative of you guys being here. We're so appreciative of the support. And really, you guys make all of this possible. So please continue to have our backs as we have yours, and just hit that thumbs up button for us. But Will, let's cook, man. Back to the charts.
Wait.
Whoa.
Give me 10 seconds, Will, because look at this, man. Just take a peek. We have Mog and we have the VIX, and they look identical.
Don't go there. Leave Mog alone. All right,
just look at it. Just look. Tommy,
Mog's going to chat.
validate me. Well, then the VIX is gonna Chad. The Mog
Are you
VIX
telling me that I should
relationship.
invest in the VIX and MOG simultaneously?
Yes, it's a complex.
In order to
relationship.
buy out of the money MOG calls, just play VIX calls. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
Bro, MOG is legit the best looking shitcoin across the board.
So
Tommy
is the
can
VIX.
validate that. All right.
I don't know about the best, but it looks really good.
You got from a chart perspective on the trend, does the trend not look solid?
But
the trend
Will,
looks great. It's just ETH on-chain shitcoins can't sustain a bid for
Ansem he already sent the call. Ansem sent the call.
Okay, but if you
Don't
think
fade 'em.
MOG looks good, then you think the VIX looks good also. This is a fact.
I mean, sure, the VIX can pop. I mean, it's not going to do anything.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Scroll
All right, you
scroll
got it.
out. Scroll out on MOG, scroll out on VIX.
Okay, guys. Also, how are we not talking about Link yet, guys? We talked about this morning in our Discord. How Link led the rally.
Do you
Hold on,
want to pull Link up?
Well, hold on. Let me finish this and we'll open. I have a thesis link. I have one. We talked about this before.
All right, let me just set the stage and then you give your thesis.
All right.
So, guys, back in Q4, maybe Tucker, if you could provide a visual when you're done mogging the VIX chart.
Yes.
Link led the market up. It was basically Link and Sol. Okay,
Oh
Link
my
and
God.
Sol led the market up back in Q4. Link topped locally about 60 days before ETH put in its local top. All right. We are now seeing clear outperformance again from Link. My big question is to the panel, is there any signal in this Link strength right now?
You're saying
this tipping its hand as to what's coming next?
I
for
think
the
there
broader
is.
market?
It's
Okay,
not. It's
why?
not just Link, Soul too.
Why?
Both of them, bro.
Why?
They are set up. Like if you looked at this from again, this is why I was gonna show you. But if you look at these from a level perspective, they are at that level to where if they hold these levels, they're going to blast off of them. Not even like not like pop a little bit, like literally just fucking explode.
Wow. So those are the same date, right? November 10th and 11th, whatever. Link topped. ETH went on to go up another, whatever, 30%.
But it was like 2 months. It was like 2 months ahead, basically. So I'm looking at this going, oh man, are we ignoring the most obvious signal that when Link pumps, the market's getting ready to just go stupid mode?
Well, and then look what it did. It went sideways for a while, and we're just doing the same thing.
It's always
Now
Link leading
pumping,
though.
and now we're gonna pump.
That's what we discussed before. I told you guys, like, if you look at the previous cycle, pull out more on Link. Wink, wink. Pull out more on Link. Scroll out. Yeah, there you go. So put it on log real quick, Tucker. Scroll out more. Now just put boxes around those areas where consolidated from the original pump, and then up.
What,
Yep.
down here.
Yep, right there, and then the next one up. Now go ahead and put a box where we are now, or right below. Yep, and then ideally we should go well above this high somewhere. That's a small one, but I wouldn't even really. I just call that a blip in the chart.
Yeah.
Ideally, we're going to go a lot higher, probably consolidate around all-time high, and then probably make one more leg up after that. So if you were to take that first pump and just set it on this current pump, so the entire thing
opened at 15 cents. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but well, it's pretty much the only
Forgot about
oracle that anybody's using in the space, so that makes sense. But can you do a bars from the low to the high?
From which low?
No more, down all the way to the bottom, 15 cents.
Like the low
No,
to this?
not there. Right before it chatted. Well, that's fine. You could use that.
Right before it, like this one?
Yeah, it's going to be the bottom run. Yeah, right there. That's where I was thinking ideally. So I don't know if it'll go that high, but like,
oh man, Will.
No. Scroll, pull it. It is pretty
No,
good.
that's it.
That's
That's it, bro. That's it right there.
Nah.
I would dial it down a little bit. Do a fib from the high to the low there.
This little flag action
it does look good.
absolutely identical.
I like that flag. I don't know if I see a $1,300 link, but I do like the flag.
I would say that that first consolidation high. That's probably where you're going without even moving it. Right in there.
You probably go what is that? 130? Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
man.
that's what I
That'd be
think. Like
nice.
Pico market. Do
Mhm.
a fib from high to low, real quick, Tucker. Look at that 1618.
Which high?
Right from
All-time
the
high.
all-time high to the low there.
This low?
Yep.
Yeah, that 1.618 is not safe, bro.
230.
It's not safe.
Oof.
It is not safe.
Larry Fink wants your link.
That
Yeah, he
actually
does.
could go pretty high if you look at it from that
So
perspective.
3618.
not to totally just like transition here, but average dad said, Tucker, can you take a look at Jupe? Looks good. I feel like that could be
Really?
fun to look at. Yeah.
Jupe does look really
Jupe
good right
looks
now.
good.
It looks primed. It looks freaking
Damn, it
primed.
does look good, man. Look at that.
Nah,
Jupiter.
We might need to go a
Look,
little lower. Can you take off Hike and Poopy? There you go.
You
I mean,
got
you
it.
guys really think this is going to pump?
Hey,
It's
no,
the FTD is already 6 billion. I'm just being realistic here.
Does FDV matter though, Tommy?
It
no.
does. It's
I don't know if
mattering
it
more
does.
this cycle than it did last cycle, at least because we haven't hit like parabolic mass just yet.
But
Well-
Tucker, do the arc. Do the arc on that. The arc
What?
swing long. Yep, that one.
Where's arc?
Curve.
Oh,
Yep.
this thing?
Yep.
If you understand the arc, man.
I'm telling you,
You
man.
understand.
I'm telling you, it's set up, bro.
No, but this is the arc. This is the arc. Yeah, that's the arc. This one is
It's
called curve, but I like the arc.
Here's the thing, man. I don't know much about the FDV. I'm gonna be honest. I completely ignore FDV. I choose to do so. If we draw some comparisons between Jupe and Uni,
Well, the FDV 6 bill, but the circulating market cap's 800 million. So
right? That's low, man. We could pump that up, but it's like you have to assume like let's compare the two. Let's compare the two dexes from a volume perspective. I'm pretty sure as of recently, Jupiter has been exceeding volume on Uniswap. Am I correct on that?
yeah.
yeah, bro. Yeah, they're getting.
I mean, I would think if Solana can behave and Solana can continue to perform well and maybe goes to an all-time high sometime this summer, I think you're probably going to see Jupe pull like a 5 to 7x from here. Okay. I really do.
You mean when Solana hits an all-time high this summer?
That's my guy right there. That's my Snorlax.
That's our
let me. I do have some Solana propaganda. If we got a quick second.
You got some good propaganda, Will?
Yeah, it's good. It's good propaganda,
All right,
man.
let's see it, Will. You don't need us to. You could take the screen, man. Pull a
Yeah.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Pull a Tommy. You gotta just act like Tommy and just take it.
Oh yeah. Okay, I see
You
it.
don't like any BRC
Hold on, I only see maxes, and I only. Oh, maybe I'm not presenting.
track.
Oh yeah, you're not presenting your screen anymore, Will. You got to
Yeah.
throw it back up.
Okay, so I'm thinking this is Solana right here. So if we look, Solana pulled into the range perfectly. It could dip a little bit again.
Hey, Will,
But
would you be able to make your RSI just a little smaller, just so we can see more of the
yeah.
chart?
I don't even know why I have it that big.
It's
to be
just
honest
so
with you.
big. I'd rather see the candles. Yeah, there we go. That's a much cleaner view. Okay.
So this is a lot higher time frame. Yeah, wink, wink, haha. But at the end of the day, if we look at this from this perspective, I'm thinking like something like this. I don't know where I need to just put my curve on my thing, man. I'm thinking something like this is going to occur here.
You
And
think a little
then-
more ranging and then up only?
Yeah, and then we just pop, right? We just literally just we kind of follow the curve a little bit and then just ram at some point. And push for the high. And it's gonna be very much like NVIDIA. Like this is the NVIDIA of the space right now. Just don't fade it. But I'm thinking like some kind of curvature here rolling out. I basically had this tracked out through every move, kind of where I thought liquidity would push through. You can see the consolidation sideways. Again, this is Cheeto in the door, but it's always the slow bleed into support and then a takeoff, right? And if you're to put this on the weekly, for instance, like it's very similar here. And this is where I came up with a lot of this is tap, 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 bring, right? And I really think this is getting more towards the parabolic phase of the market, where the market is going to start legging, right? And people
You
are
think
just
that
going to start
happens
missing.
before or after the halving, Will?
Well, Solana can lead because Solana can continue to push. It's an altcoin, right?
Yeah.
And Bitcoin could lag, and then Bitcoin could push later on. It's just that we don't have to see everything push all time high at the same time. Some things can push well ahead of Bitcoin, or way behind Bitcoin. Right? Some of these are really lagging hard against Bitcoin ETH.
I mean, think about Solana, right? Versus ETH even. We haven't even seen an ETH pump yet that we're expecting probably at some point in February, but Solana topped in like mid-December or around Christmas time. So, yeah, I mean, they don't all top at the same time. And it's usually, I mean, unless we are just in full-blown parabola, that should be expected. It's just natural capital rotation.
Yep. Yeah, and that's all I'm thinking too. I just think I know everybody's eyes are over here, so market makers are playing this market up, and they're gonna play it as long as they think there's liquidity to grab. Right. I think that once we start getting up into here, you might get some speculation that could push you pretty high. I don't think we'll get up to like these valuations, but I definitely think at this point, there's definitely a possibility we get into maybe 5, 6, even 800. Right. I think like this range is very possible at this point.
What
Especially
time
how
frame
much.
are you on? Are you on the weekly?
Yeah, this is the weekly right here.
Look at your oscillators are resetting while you're sitting at $100. I mean, what are we talking about?
That's what I was talking about too. Like if you look at stochastic's flooring, right, while you're still high, which means you can realistically flip this up and flip price up, right? And then if you look here too, this is basically your positioning, right? Your position itself is almost completely reset. This green zone right here means that you're in a position to where you can drive higher. When you're in the red, you should look at kind of like risk off, and you can see right here the indication's pretty good. It almost called the exact top here. I'm not saying to use this to trade again. I just use these as confluence. But like if you look here, we ran and then we ran a little bit higher on the next one. And then a lot of people got played into that move right here. And then once you got to here, this is not the area where you really realistically wanted to play. And then you kind of rolled back into the range and you're all the way down here now with shorts. Like you're nobody's really kind of, or not shorts, but long and short positioning, right? Your long and short positioning has almost pretty much reset to where nobody's really leveraging these plays. On top of right here, again, your stochastic following in and saying, hey, you can drive. And this is why stochastic's so great to offset your bait or your whatever your thesis is with RSI, right? So you may think RSI is overheated, but your stochastic can tell you, hey, you could still drive even though you're overheated. You still have room. And that's always the trick between these two, is when your stochastic's telling you one thing and your RSI is telling you you're overheated sometimes, or sometimes it's telling you you're oversold. If your stochastic's still high and you're oversold, you could stay on the floor, right? If your stochastic's on the floor and you're up here at the highs, the overheated zone above the 70, you could still drive above the 70 until it becomes some kind of wash move, right? Where it's going to pull you down really hard. And this is the problem with a lot of people, is they don't understand that price can get ridiculous and erratic longer than you can stay liquid, right? And they can continue to drive and drive and drive well beyond what any of your indicators will tell you. And this is why you have to use a multitude. This is why I use multiple. These are all strength, right? I use a multitude of strength indicators to offset each other and tell me, hey, you still have room to drive, or hey, you are really overheated, right? Like if you look here, and here, what is stochastic and RSI telling you together with price? Get out. It's telling you like you're way overheated, right? But the second stochastic started making a nosedive, you could have started dialing into that nosedive. And realistically, you would have been somewhere in this circle before the next pop. I always look for the nosedives on stochastic. That's what tells me whether or not we're cooling down or heating up. That's what tells me to stay out or come back in. And that's if you're jumping in, jumping out. I don't think that's the safest thing for new investors or people that don't trade. But If you're kind of swinging in and out, that's how you wanted it, or at least that's how I like to play it. I like to play these two against each other, kind of devil's advocate type play. But yeah, I think realistically, Sol could run. ETH again, I think it's a high time frame swing. Again, I think this was the Cheeto in the door meme. People looking for the low swing, it's not going to happen. You're probably going to get either the run sideways rip, or you're going to get the breakout high hit. This will really wreck people. And then the really choppiness. This is where people are going to get destroyed on leverage. Like you get up in here and you rejected the high there, everybody's going to scream it's over, it's done. That's your blow off top for your altcoin market. Blah blah blah, all the good stuff, and they're just not going to have a clue that you're just consolidating the range before the next move, right? That's all it is. A lot of these things. Look, I can identify the same spot, Max, on every single chart, every single freaking one, dude. Like people just have no clue what's going on. They have no idea. But look, every single flush across the board hit, right? Flush hit over here. NVIDIA, well beyond hit, right? Well beyond hit. So if we look at NVIDIA, again, flush hit, right? You can see the same hesitation point in the chart. This is where everybody fumbles. Everybody fumbles here, and they fumble prior to here every single time. But you're always going to get that flush fill before you get in. Like you can definitely get the lower high and the reversal here. You could definitely get that. But the likeliness is when you got a full market and an uptrend, you're not going to get that, right? You're going to get the drive through. And so a lot of people are fading this shoulder over and over and over again. And that's what you're going to see on ETH. That's what you're going to see on Bitcoin. You're going to see the same thing over here. Come into Bitcoin. Look, everybody is fading Bitcoin. What did Bitcoin tap? What did it tap, guys? Look at it. A flush all the way down. You can go on any chart across the board. Pull up any chart. It's even Carvana, bro. Chapter 11 Carvana filled the flush. Chapter 11 Carvana. Just think about that. It filled its flush. Like you got stocks that should realistically be, extinct right now that have filled their flush. And realistically, I think this area right here, here's the funny part. I think this is going to be Bitcoin 2.0 between 25K and 30K. It's just going to be between 40K and 52K.
The low grunt from Max.
I mean, he's right. I don't know if I see us ranging that long, but I think Will's right. I do.
I mean, that's all I'm saying, Take log off right here for those of you like, oh, you just log. Look. There you go.
Oh, man.
It's a realistic price, right?
The chart that I'm mostly focused on right now, guys, is Sol ETH.
That might as well be the risk on pair for the market.
Yeah, it might as well be. I'm going to pull a Tommy here, guys. I've been playing around with a fractal here. I'm going to remove it. But I've been contemplating like where this goes next, right? There's no doubt in my mind that this rockets to all-time high very, very soon. And where I think we could be in all of this is basically like right here. Okay. And where I get all this from is like the previous little high that was set right here. We might just be doing this again. Like this might just be, like a long drawn out version of this, so where would we go next from here? I mean, it could look something like this, guys, and I'm fearful of this because I want to rotate some of my ETH into Sol, but I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. Like, what if this just straight up happens right here? What if?
Max, wait. That's fine. What are you talking about? What's wrong with that?
I'm underexposed. I have too much ETH, man. I want some Sol.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. 100% agree.
That's what the problem is.
You got the call to action last night, Max. You know what the trade is. I posted it. I posted the people looking at the same thing that we're already in, and that's Ethereum.
You think ETH is the trade right now, Will, over Sol?
I think Sol is at a point to where it's going to slow down, and you're going to start to see activity elsewhere. Like
We've seen that though. We've already seen that.
No. Look, not
Dude,
to that
Tucker,
degree. Tucker.
you know damn well all the action has been in Sol.
It has
know
100% been in
Yeah,
Sol.
but if we're talking about the Sol ETH pair, we're talking about Sol USD. I mean, it went to 130 and it came back down to 80. Like we've
that was a big
slowed
drop. down. And by the way,
drop.
I'm not suggesting that Sol USD is going to drop. But what I need is
Sol will drive is about performance. That's what it's about.
You need Sol ETH.
Hang on. I need 2 months of ETH outperforming Sol. That's it. That's all I need. 2 months of ETH kicking Sol's ass, and then we go right back to Sol.
Wait, Max, I think you fit your fractal wrong there, brother. This is
No, I know I changed my fractal, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for, right?
Like there. Assuming the high was set right here, right? Like
correct. Yes, that's what I'm hoping for is this fractal.
And that we put in a little shoulder there.
I'm hoping this is a shoulder, but I'm hoping that it's a shoulder that leads to a failed breakdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all. For those in the audience who are wondering what this means, it would just, it'd simply mean that ETH performs a little bit better for a window of time against Sol.
And Tucker, if you identify back in October of 2022, like the previous all-time high, mark out the complacency shoulder that led to the bear market, right?
Whoa,
so like that second stab at the high. No, up to the left more. Up to the left. Yeah. So that was your
21, yeah.
Or sorry, 21. That's your complacency shoulder that ultimately led to the bear market. What I'm looking for is a complacency shoulder like this, where we go back and retest the low, but we refuse to break down and then ultimately head much higher, which is what Tucker has drawn out.
Yeah, it's literally this. It's perfect.
So this is a good complacency shoulder setup. I want the lows pressured again. Everybody goes, oh, we're about to retrace like crazy. And then we just range here and then ultimately, boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Evan, XRP has been the lower risk trade for about 4 years because it hasn't moved.
Here's the thing. I want to give XRP a fair shot here. Now let me throw this out there. Keep this chart up, Tucker. We don't need to show XRP or anything.
Actually, there will be a time when XRP is just a total liquidity vacuum for the market, man.
Yeah, like, at the top.
That day is coming.
it will. And here's the thing. XRP missed all of last cycle. If there was a ticker that was the embodiment of beach ball underwater, it would be XRP. Because if they get out from underneath the SEC and they make a settlement with them, and now we have regulatory,
didn't they already do that?
I think they're still dealing with them. If we now have
regulatory, they won and it sucked.
No, they haven't won yet.
They're still in litigation. They're still in litigation.
If they get out from underneath the SEC and they pay a fine, and now we have regulatory clarity for the crypto landscape, but more specifically XRP, which actually does have use case and is globally integrated, you have to look at it as a ticker that completely missed last cycle. So in my opinion, it's got 2 cycles. It's got the one we're about to start right now and all of last cycle to catch up with. So I don't know what's going to happen, right? There's an opportunity cost to holding something like XRP, of course, and that's a risk you have to take. But if they get out from underneath the SEC, it's going to melt face. I mean, it's literally going to pull a 30x in like 3 months. That's how it's going to work. But I don't know when that day comes. I don't know if it comes. But there is a bullish case for it for sure.
It's going to be difficult to time, but I mean, spot holders are going to end up winning with XRP. I feel pretty comfortable saying that. Multiples TBD. I think that's a big question I have at this point.
Yep.
I wonder if XRP flips ETH for a time, and that's like the top of the XRP pump. That would be hysterical. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no.
XRP flips ETH. That would require so much, man.
What does XRP ETH and XRP Bitcoin look like?
Deviation, Tucker.
Perpetual bleed for sure. But
Oh, it's down only.
XRP Bitcoin looks better than you think, Max. I promise.
really,
It's
All right.
actually been making high time frame higher lows for like
no.
years.
That's a low. I don't know, bro.
I don't know, Tommy. I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know.
on the floor.
Man, that's a chart you'd buy, Will.
Yeah, it is.
I'd
If it
rather
was
buy
just
something
this-
called, PP holder or something than that.
What's a PP holder?
I don't know. I saw something the other day that said "hold my PP" or something. It was a sort
Oh.
of shit.
Oh man.
I got in, got rugged. Tucker, somebody tagged you in the Discord.
Was it you?
I don't know.
I know. I saw it, Will. I don't even know what that is. What is that?
The future of finance, bro.
Oh, I see it on your screen right now. Is that the autistic penguins?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
man.
pigwings. They're pretty much going to zero at this point.
Are you
Real.
still holding them
All
all?
my NFTs are probably going to zero.
No, bro, I got like a 10x on like a ton of them, and I put
Dude, I
them all
should've
except for
bought
like maybe
some.
2.
I faded it
I
hard.
told you about it. Yeah. I gave you that one. You were like, would it take like 2 hours? And it was already up 5.
No, with the penguin one though, I was like, oh, I'll look into it. I looked up like autistic penguin and it didn't come up, and I was like, I'm done. I'm not looking up anymore.
That's the first thing that came to mind was
I mean, look at it. Yeah.
It just made me think about my fumble on Penguins with Tucker, how we bought and sold the Pico bottom. Man.
We bought and sold 3.5
Free
ETH
ETH.
penguins for break-even prices, and then they pulled a 6x against ETH.
Oh,
absolute insanity. But
the
hey,
flip side of that is, if we had stuck to the NFT thesis, we would have still been holding Miladies, and that would have just been dead capital the last few months.
I slaughtered the Milady trade like an absolute savage, and there's no way around it.
I do want to discuss this one
insane.
now.
Sui is in an interesting spot, man. I think it can pull back here short term, but I mean, I honestly think in the first half of the year it can go to like $4 or $5. Some secret alpha.
You guys want to know what this is doing? I'm gonna give you the 10-4 right here. All right, look. See this wick right here? See this wick right here? This is where the real alpha is. That's probably what you're looking at, right? You're probably going to pull back somewhere into here, and then you're going to continue up. So everybody, why would I get into Sui now? Keep on coping. Just keep on coping. Yeah, you can take it back that Tucker if you want.
I'm trying to.
Or Max. I think Max is getting some propaganda going in the background.
Trying to draw a quick comparison here.
You can always tell when Max has got some propaganda because he goes quiet and he's not staring at the camera anymore. He's staring off to the side.
He's massaging something.
I got some propaganda. I got archives of propaganda, man. I don't even need to prepare it. I just pull it up. That's all I do.
Creating propaganda as we speak.
Yep, that's right.
But
some dude just commented back on my last tweet. I tweeted a Doge chart and was like, yeah, I could see Doge pumping here. He just replies, Doge will not pump. Okay.
That's a good response.
I was like, do I completely toast this guy or do I just ignore him? I chose to ignore, but
I mean, I did get in with the team on the secret alpha on the Doge chain. We don't have to name it.
Le Franc.
I got it last night. I'm
kind of bored, man. I think I might just pump the floor to like 2K Doge on Francs. Just because I want to watch their Telegram freak out when it happens.
You could do that with probably like $200.
No, I did the numbers. It'd be like $5,000.
$5,000 to pump it.
Yeah, it'd be like 5 to 8K. But
they'd probably sell into you, to be honest with you.
And then you market sell it in one go.
Yeah.
I wish that was on Magic Eden and get some gems if that was on Magic Eden.
Oh man, Tucker, they're talking about the Penguins in the comments. Yeah, we know how much the Penguins are worth now,
Dude.
man.
So what we bought them? ETH was like 1,500, I think, and
We bought them for like 6,000 a pop, and they're over
6,000 to
40K now,
40K. Yeah.
and
I
they'll
think I
probably
talked to
go
you
higher,
guys.
let's be honest.
I think we talked about it, and like everybody was capitulating the same time on the Panda or on the Penguins. Like it wasn't just you guys. Like I watched other people on the timeline like selling their Penguins. I was like, oh man, everybody's selling. I'm like,
I
this
just
is
remember
pretty
the
good.
chart, the high time frame chart looked good and bottomed. I couldn't think of why Pudgy Penguins would ever pump again. And here we are like 3 months later, and I'm like, damn, Pudgy Penguins pumped again.
Well, you
Wait,
know what you know about Lucas, right? He
Well, you
basically
what?
opened an ecom. Yeah, he opened an ecom basically, and he's working with Walmart directly on those Penguins. It's like
Will,
everybody
question
faded
for you
it.
about that. How does him selling penguins to Walmart increase like penguin holder value?
So I'll tell you. So he sells penguins that are directly related to the penguins that are part of the collection. And I believe you get IP rights, which means that you get money from sales of your penguin.
So when they sell penguins at Walmart,
And you get digital penguins when you buy the fluffy penguin, which have a valuation, by the way, on chain. Like they're on chain NFT penguins that you get when you scan the code on the fluffy penguin from the Walmart.
Okay.
I don't know what they're sitting at, but like
You're saying I can buy a Pudgy Penguin for $5? Well,
I think it's like 10, but yeah, you can get not you don't get a Pudgy, you get like the baby version. Like they had the babies.
Here's
And then
the
they-
thing, guys.
Yeah, little
Here's the
pudgies.
thing that there's a complete imbalance right now
Yes,
between
there
the
is, Max.
panda to penguin ratio.
I
I
was
thought you were going
about
to
to
make a
oh,
like
the-
button joke.
The
Well-
easiest trade, hang on. The easiest trade in crypto right now is Compi Pandas. I'm not going to touch on it much more than that.
They're just different lanes though.
But people don't know what they have cooking right now. If they're going to know in like 30 to 60 days. People do not understand what's coming. It is the easiest trade in crypto right now. But everybody's sleeping on it.
Those are my top two picks. Like I think eventually, and it's going to be a hot take, but I think eventually.
Will, what would be
you'll
the
see-
most bullish thing for the pandas to do?
No, there's nothing else they can do. That's
No.
what I was gonna
Hang
say.
on. What would
Mm-mm.
hypothetically be the most bullish thing that an NFT project could do?
Oh, I mean, partner with the pandas.
No.
that would be it.
I'm talking about what could the pandas do? What could like their team do? What would the most bullish thing that the pandas could do for everybody that holds pandas be?
Bro, they're like I can name 1,000 things, Max. They're
Just
doing
name one.
They're doing a ton already. Like, what do you want me to name?
All
They're
right,
already doing a ton.
Will. What would you get super hyped about if they delivered to you, man, as a panda holder?
Rights to the company,
They have that.
share. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you can buy equity in them.
I've been using my pandas to try and win those stupid 100K rewards.
I don't know how much. I mean, I'm not gonna. I can only phrase the question so many.
I mean,
ways.
it's easy for you. You already know it. It's like you're asking. Me a
I don't
question
know
like,
everything.
That's like blank in the air. Like I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You said a word there. You said blank in the air. You know, and that's an important thing to touch on. Is that's the truth. You know.
What? It's up in the air.
No, Will, no. I mean, you're half right. You're saying half of it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just you're halfway there, but it's
We
fine.
going skydiving? Like what's going on?
We're going to
in
the
air?
sky. Yeah, we're going to the sky. That's all right. We'll talk. You know, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But it's people are sleeping on this, man, and you know.
No, but here's the thing. I think pandas, and I don't worry, avid holder, haven't sold any. I think that they're the later trade, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with holding them for that because they have a
No,
lot
they're
of
the
incentive to
catch-up
stay.
trade, Will. They're the catch-up trade.
That's
of
what
the
I
Penguins.
mean. No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. So the later trade means that attention comes to them later, but like they're the catch-up trade against all these. Like I wouldn't buy pudgies where they're at. Like I'll be straight
So
up. Like,
here's the
no
thing,
way.
man. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You might have like 45 to 60 days for the panda trade. You might have it. Okay, if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah.
If you're lucky, you might have 2 months. Okay.
So BlackRock is making a panda ETF.
I'm just saying, man. You don't know what's you don't know what's coming, man. It's gonna catch a lot of people off guard, man. I've heard some things. I've seen some rumblings, man. And let me just put it this way: it could potentially flip pudgy penguins, honestly.
All right, I'll just DM bags later on the day.
And people are not quite ready for that, man. They're not ready to talk about that flippening. So,
real quickly, guys, I'd love to talk about the dollar. I know we touched on it earlier this week, but it's actually up pretty good on the day, which is a bit surprising. Is that strictly related to NFP, or is that?
This is going to end up like the ETH BTC candle and move right back to that low. Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, guys, I think pandas are where pudgies were right before they ran, right? Something like that.
Look at this, champs. This industry requires you to find individuals like myself that you can trust, not to dump on you, not to be fucking annoying, not to be, the underbelly of the financial system. That ain't us here at BB. The source is trust me. The source is trust me.
Well, the thing is like when we name stuff, we're not naming it at the top and telling you guys to buy. Like we're literally trying to pick bottoms on a lot of things. So like when we're telling you, it doesn't matter if you enter the game and you're not exit liquidity to us because we see prices valuating much higher than when we're talking about it. We're not talking about it at the Pico tops.
Well, look, pandas are literally bullishly accumulating right underneath their all-time high. If you go look at the chart on CoinGecko,
I'm seeing some very interesting comments in the chat right now. There's some very, very interesting comments in the chat. But let's talk about DXY.
Yeah, I mean this. What is this candle?
That's gonna U-turn, man. That's gonna Bart Simpson.
Even if it doesn't, it doesn't matter. It's been hovering 105, $1 for.
Oh, this was right when unemployment came out.
Yeah, the unemployment thing is it's a freaking joke, bro. Like look at claims. Nobody is claiming anything because they get new jobs the next day.
Equities do not care, man. Do not care.
Like layoffs in the tech sector makes sense when you got things like AI and so on. It's like, it's fake. Okay. All right. That's why they're laying off. When you got things that help advance work methods to where you don't need as many people, it's actually more bullish for these companies. It makes their valuations go higher. A lot of people think, oh, layoff, it means there's going to be less. No. It's costing them less. So it's equaling out the loss of the employee.
All right, boys, here's the deal. We've been going for about an hour, 20 minutes. We got a few minutes left. What should we look at here? What should be the last alpha dump of the show?
It's a good question.
It's a great question.
I'm not sure.
How do Bitcoin miners look?
That's a good one.
Oh, bro.
Oh man,
it's fractal. I don't even know where this is from. Let's fit it a little better.
You copied it from Bitcoin.
Funny enough, I actually could see something like that happening.
Pico bottom at the halving.
I'm telling you, bro, this market is so freaking bullish looking. Like this all it is bullish. We're closing the stream. Just buy stuff. That's it.
Yeah, that's real. All right, guys. Here's what we're gonna do, man. Yeah, I mean, this is Franco. This is the move, man. Franco. Franco, we got to grab dinner, man. Unless you're still traveling, we got to hang out. I think Franco and I live pretty close. But yeah, Franco, that's a good move, man. I would expect nothing less from you, Franco. Smart individual. All right, guys, we're gonna call the show here, guys. Thanks so much for being here as always. Another fantastic day. Hope everybody enjoys their weekend. Before you guys go, if you could please consider taking one moment, hitting that thumbs up button for us if you enjoyed today's stream. Furthermore, if you are new here, this is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. We are live Monday through Friday at 10:55 a.m. Eastern time with this cast that you are looking at right here, plus usually one more named Jackus. You guys all know Jackus. So please consider subscribing to the channel as well, or following us on X if that's where you are watching. And again, thank you guys so much for the support. We greatly appreciate you guys showing up, showing some love, and hanging out with us in the comments. But again, before you go, please consider liking and then also subscribing so that you can be notified of when we go live. One more thing. Check out the first link in the description below. It will take you to becausebitcoin.com/premium. There you can go and navigate, read reviews, check out what our premium offerings are. Right now, it's just a Discord, but we are rolling out our new flagship product called the BB Terminal. It's basically a Bloomberg terminal, but for crypto guys. That product is launching sometime right around the Bitcoin halving, probably a little bit before. When that happens, our Discord price is going to go up exponentially. The BB terminal is going to be bundled with our current Discord plus a new Telegram alerts channel for notifications from the BB terminal. If you want any chance of getting into our Discord, you should do it sooner rather than later. The purpose of us increasing the cost of the Discord to what it's going to be, which is a lot more than it currently is honestly to deter people from joining, because we don't want it to become an overcrowded cesspool that people can't rely on. There's a real tight community aspect to it right now. It's important for all of us at BB. And also it's a very important part of our community's day to day. And we don't want to take that away from anybody, especially as we grow and get bigger. So if you want to join the Discord and you want to join a tight knit community that works very, very hard to deliver private, premier, premium alpha to you on a daily basis, consider joining now rather than after, because you're going to join and you're going to get the BB terminal, and then you're going to be in the Telegram alerts channel, and you're going to go, you know what would go really nicely with the BB terminal and the Telegram alerts channel would be the Discord. And then you're going to go, damn, I should have listened to Max because he warned me every single day for like 3 months and I didn't join the Discord, and now it's so expensive, it makes me nauseous. And that's the truth, guys. And there's not going to be a bunch of discount codes, and I'm not going to go back on my word. I'm telling you right now, join the Discord while you can. It's a very, very great value. Again, it's $150 a month. It's basically $5 a day. It's great value. And we do 2 hours per day of private voice calls, 1 in the morning at the New York Open, 1 in the afternoon at the New York Close. You will absolutely feel the value out of it. We have active positions channels. We got private TA channels. We talk about airdrops. It's a huge, huge value add. It's just an alpha group. So again, you are going to want to join eventually. Well, I mean, you should want to join now, right? But you're really going to want to join when the BB terminal comes out. And I'm just telling you right now, there's a very small window of time before prices increase dramatically. So check out the first link in the description below, becausebitcoin.com/premium. Now I'm going to kick it over to Tommy to say a final farewell.
Thanks, Max. Yeah, guys. No complaining when the price gets raised, and you could have gotten in at a much lower cost. We are going to be providing you guys with even more value and even more alpha than we already are. And I mean, look, we've absolutely crushed the last really 6 to 9 months. So no intentions of stopping, only going to continue. Discord's going to get more valuable. Hopefully you guys are on board for the journey with us. But yeah, guys, a reminder that we will be back for another episode of Market Check on Monday. That is live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, give or take a few minutes. Of course, we've also got our flagship show with legendary King Wabi that starts at around 4:15, 4:30 Eastern time. That is Market Talk. We talk all things markets, financial news, everything in between, guys. I mean, we talk about literally everything. It's less chart heavy on Market Talk, but amazing commentary and amazing rhetoric. I feel like we've had some really great spaces this week as well. But yeah, guys, that's it from us. Like I said, we'll be back on Monday. Happy Friday. Have a great rest of your weekend. Spend some time with your families, and maybe doing anything that makes you happy, right? Spend some time away from the markets. That's the main thing for the weekend. But, I never know if I'll be able to pry myself away, but maybe a little bit. Y'all have a great weekend. Thanks again.
Real quick, free newsletter. Don't forget, you guys get that.
Yeah. That's true.
So don't forget that that's out there. We do cover markets and stuff like that in the newsletter. Anybody can jump in there, look at it, read it. We give our daily analysis on the charts.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop that in the comments, guys. That's a great point, Will. we do this. It's a daily newsletter now, and we are posting charts in there. It gets delivered to your email inbox every single morning. And again, it's totally free. And these are charts you're not going to see on Twitter or anywhere else. So if you want them, you have to sign up for the newsletter. Again, it's totally free. You just put in your email, and you'll get an email from us every single morning. So it's something new. Today was the second day it went out. So yeah, definitely consider checking that out. That link it's right in the comments now if you guys see it. It's just because bitcoin.com/newsletter. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you later.